Coffee in the morning, coffee in the evening, coffee at supper time. When coffee's in your cup, you could drink coffee anytime. Do you guys hear me chewing?
All right, got a funeral foam macchiato for Charles. This one's just hot and sad. One graveyard grind drip for Josh, or both. Somebody come get this.
In the process, an old pair of Bluetooth headphones may have been banished to the upper regions of the loft, never to be seen again, because they were giving me grief. But hey, kids, you can't run a small space heater, a large space heater, and then an electric kettle all on the same breaker and a computer, because that will trip the breaker. Then it takes forever to put everything back together.
Then it has to learn how to walk again. Ha! Badoots! He said trip the breaker. It tripped.
Is this going to be the way it is? Is this how this is going to go?
I think that's what they call a dad joke.
You have a voice filter on.
Wait, I do?
Yeah, yeah, you sound like a chipmunk telling that dad joke.
Calvin! Why is this voice mod thing on?
It wasn't on before, but it's... I thought you did that on purpose.
Nope. Hold on.
She's like, can you hear me okay? It's like, yeah.
How about now?
Yeah.
Better?
That's
okay.
normal. Yeah. Holy cow.
Hold on. What else is in here? Oh, Lord. How about this?
Hello?
Yeah, that's a very deep one. So you can't hear back the mod.
Nope.
Yeah, but that's a very
let me turn that off.
That's a deep one.
But see, when Calvin has voice mods on, he can't hear it either, but like he'll try to mimic it so it doesn't work right. He just won't talk in his like normal voice.
Right.
Just like when he was a kid and I was like, I'm going to record you in slow motion, just run across the yard. And he would run across the yard like in slow motion. I'm like, no, just run. The camera will do the rest.
Okay. I was getting set up. So I have an electric kettle with the spout on it. So, because we're going to do a pour, because you've been talking about how great pour overs are. You also talked about getting a fresh roast. And I did finally get something prepared. And that was it too. I had this clip prepared before I lost power. And I Googled it real quick. It came right up. I had it set up. So when I booted everything back up and got everything reconnected, I just restored the tabs. Guess what? Because it's AI generated from Google, like the search, the answer was AI generated. It changed the answer and it didn't have the clip anymore. Yeah, so I had to go find it. But Josh, I've been thinking of this specific thing ever since I bought new stuff. This sir is for actually.
Did you wake me up?
Yes, I woke you up.
But why? But why, Josh?
How could you do it?
Why?
You look different, Charles. You look so different.
How could you wake me up like that? It is this world of scales and measuring and kettles and glass pots.
Do you know why? Because when we first met and we were talking and we started and you mentioned coffee and how much you were into coffee.
Yeah.
As a coffee snob, my first thought was, yeah, right. And then when you told me like what you were into, I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna take you down a darker path, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And here you are. Yeah. You are on the dark side, which in this case, the dark side is good. In this case, the little brown pill, it's a good thing. You want the best brown pill.
So yeah, so listening to this show, watching this show, participating in this show may lead you down some darker paths. So I'm about to measure out. I'm gonna zero this out. Then I'm gonna measure out my coffee. All right. So I can't remember. I think I took a picture of it. I went to the Dancing Goats. Yeah, Dancing Goat in Atlanta. They offered a pour over in store. So I got it and it was very nice. I hate how much they charge for it because it's like this 8 to 12 ounce little cup. And yeah, they took the time. I'm like, if you're gonna take the time, just make a big cup. I mean, it's not that different.
Yeah. It's what was it? Probably like $10?
8, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Eight.
It wasn't
Yeah,
horrible,
it's usually 8 to 10 bucks. I mean, that is kind of, you're right though, for 8 to 12 ounces, that's pretty horrible, but it's so good.
So now I'm measuring out my 20 grams of, let's lower this so the audience can see, because that's the whole point is I had to do a whole lot of looking up. So I actually put about 25 in there.
Basically Charles right now this is an equivalent of being in his meth lab that he doesn't have. And he's cooking right now. He's the chemist. He is the one who knocks. He is the danger.
All right.
He's gonna keep
so
himself
I measured
awake.
out, and it went right into the craft where it's not supposed to go, but that was how I measured because zeroed out the craft.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm gonna put it back into the filter. So everything is about right there. So I'm gonna zero this out because so I put it in about 30 because I like mine a little bit darker. I mean, I don't know, not dark roasted, darker brewed,
full of flavor, a little more flavor. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Full body.
I'll look up which exact coffee I bought for this one, but I ground it this morning. Then sat out here in the freezing studio waiting for your sick ass. All right. And zero it. Come on, zero it out. So now,
well, let me clarify. I'm a little bit sick. Sick ass kind of sounds like you like the look of my ass, but so I just wanted to like clear that up.
So
could be both.
There's the bloom, right? I was putting in about double the weight of the coffee to let it sit for 45 seconds.
Listen to this guy. He said the bloom. This guy's into it now.
Look, I got ChatGPT on the screen. It's helping me. It says this is non-negotiable. It is. It says bloom. This is non-negotiable. Start your timer. Pour 40 grams of water 2 times. Pour slowly just to wet all the grounds and let it sit for 30 to 45 seconds. And it said you should see bubbling. This is CO2 escaping. No bloom equals stale coffee or 2 grind of a course or 2 course. Or grind 2 course. I said that wrong. Okay. So it has bloomed. And now over the matter of the next 3 years, we slowly pour this out, right? Just cover everything in a circle.
Yes.
And let's see. Oh yeah, you can see it from an angle. You can see
I'm enjoying this. This is basically turning me on.
Is this warming your soul? Is it tantalizing? Is it warming the cockles of your soul is what I was trying to get.
Oh yeah, the cockles are warm. Cockles are warm. It's making me want my pour over set back because I've gotten lazy and I think I might get unlazy now.
So any tips as I'm doing this? Anything that you do differently? How much weight do you put of grounds in there?
Oh, I always have to look up a recipe. Always. I've never remembered it.
And it just takes a hot minute.
You know, it's good for like for me when I was doing it, it was good for like a Saturday morning ritual because you'd get up, you take the time to do it. It really makes you relax and kind of slow down.
Yeah.
And the end product is so good. Like I would suggest, like if somebody's listening right now and for some reason they don't like coffee and they stumbled upon our podcast, this is where you want to start because you're going to love this. It's not going to be like any other coffee you've ever tried before.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's not bitter. It's perfection.
It is definitely. I was kind of hoping that you were just imagining because you did all this fancy crap that it. No, it is. You can taste the difference. Now, chat says bring the total water to 320 grams. That's only about 12 ounces. That's why I add a bit. So it recommended 20 grams of coffee grind.
Yeah,
I put in 30. So I bring this thing to about 420 or so.
Okay. It's a different kind of 420, but I get where you're coming with. I got it.
which is a little over 12 ounces. And then I judge it by the look of the color. That's a good color there. All right, I'm gonna turn off the scale. I don't need the scale anymore.
That looks good, man.
Off.
So
turn off.
It looks like Amazon's been at your house a bunch. That's another side effect.
Yes.
The little brown pill is getting to know your Amazon driver.
Yeah. All right. So I still have. So this pot will hold 0.8 liters, but only about half of it does the first pour over. So you can actually get 2 out of this little kettle. I think it was $30 on Amazon, maybe.
Oh wow, and it's electric.
Yeah, maybe closer to 50. I don't remember, but it was under $50.
So and there's always like places you can upgrade a little bit. Like with your kettle, you could get a kettle too that will tell you the temp.
Yeah,
like, that's another like extra level of like getting the temp exactly right and stuff like that.
Yeah, my friend Casey J, when I first got it, and I was just trying to figure it out, and I posted that TikTok video of after talking to you and getting some pointers, because I just did like a scoop of coffee. But this is really about now. The scoop is I use this tablespoon. Yeah. I like the longer handle because I do still keep stuff in bags, and I'll go in and scoop it out for my regular everyday coffee. So a tablespoon, so roughly 320? No, that's the water. Roughly 30 grams is about 3 tablespoons of coffee, which typically is about 3 times the cup. Because I use a Keurig machine, and so the little filter holds about a tablespoon.
Okay.
So anyway, I put in just one scoop the very first time.
Now you went with the proper thing, the weight. Yeah.
Now it's about the weight. But anyway, my friend Casey J saw the video, and he does a pour over at his house. And he was talking about temperature on kettle with the temperature showing and all this other stuff. So that's just a little sad to me, because usually it's like right here on my level, but quality and quantity will come. I'll figure out how to get both.
I mean, it's really just about adding more. Shut up. Shut up.
I hope it's more.
He's bragging now. I'm just drinking regular coffee.
So that was very punchy on the flavor.
See, look, he's still a muggle. He's putting more water. I think he put
a little more water.
He put sugar in it or a sweet low?
Sweet low. Yeah.
No, not
better living through pharmaceuticals. Sweet low's a pharmaceutical.
This is a little side note. When I was a teenager, I remember. Do you remember when you could record on a cassette tape on like a little like cassette deck that you had in your room or something? You could just record whatever you want on it.
Yes.
Me and my friends used to record this song we wrote about Sweet and Low called "The Pink Stuff Gives You Cancer."
What?
It was just like the pink stuff. It gives you cancer. Like I have no idea why we came up with that. I mean, we probably heard one of our parents at the time talking about like a news article about Sweet and Low, and obviously Sweet and Low still a thing. So,
what's funny? So before the pour over, the French press was kind of the Saturday morning hoorah, right? And and it just brews a little differently. Crazy enough, because the water's barely in the grinds, because it just filters through very quickly, right? And I was thinking, how can you get good coffee out of that? But it's I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just how you pour it, if it's whoever the coffee gods were that came up with the coffee math on this thing. It is different. It is better. But I found with the kettle, I'm more inclined to, if I'm not having to leave the house quickly, within 30 minutes, because in the time I'm making coffee, I'm also doing other things to prepare to get out of the house. So if I have to leave quickly, I'll just do the Keurig, and in 2 minutes or less, it's done.
Yeah,
right, and I'll go. And then,
you're a little sadder that day, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, not as sad as you, but
I know. Yeah, pretty sad right now. After seeing that, I'm like,
it's such a. This is the little brown pill after dark edition for the coffee lovers.
So that coffee you used, is that from the coffee shop that you were at?
Yes, that is from the Social Goat. I'm gonna look back because I know I sent you the picture because that'll be the easiest way to find which flavor I bought.
You got rid of the bag already? Whoa.
No, it's in the house. I'm not
Oh, I
going back
got you. I
and
got you.
forth.
I got
And I didn't think to look at it this morning when I pulled the grinds out.
you. Dang, do we really text that much? That's cool.
Apparently. Okay, it is. So Caldi's is a sister brand of Dancing Goat, apparently. They work together. So if you look up either one of them and look at locations, all locations are shared. So it'll say, like in Atlanta, it's the Dancing Goat, but if I go to Austin, it's Caldi's. So it's this particular one is Caldi's roasting, is Columbia Prima Pink Bourbon, as a taste profile of brown sugar, raspberry, and pomegranate. And you really can taste the pomegranate in it.
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
I thought I wouldn't like a fruity coffee, but I'm actually enjoying it.
Do you, when you drink pour over, especially if you get it from, like, when you drank your one from the Dancing Goat, don't you get kind of almost like tea, kind of like a tea flavor? Like it's coffee, but you kind of get this very complex like tea flavor, and you can start to, when you read those tasting notes, a lot of times when I make coffee in my machine and I read the tasting notes, I roll my eyes because I can't taste any of them. But like when you do the pour over, you can really taste some of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I've been the same way, like with scotches and stuff. You drink scotch with somebody who is a connoisseur, and like, oh, there's hints of like, nah, man, I can just tell you if it's burny, if it's sweet, or if it's smooth. That's what I can tell. But I can tell you what I like on it. But yeah, I can't tell you hints of whatever.
The last time I drank scotch with someone, he brought over, I had my bourbon. I like Larceny, and it's decent. He brought over like good scotch, and I took a drink, and I'm like, oh, dude. He's like, I told you probably wouldn't like it. I'm like, I was like, it tastes like leather. He's like, no, what you're tasting, it tastes like gasoline. And I'm like,
that's not better, man.
And I was like, and you like that? And he was like, oh yeah, I love this. This is great. I was like, okay. And I just can't drink scotch, like especially the good stuff. It
just all depends, right? So okay, I have an empty bottle of Redemption bourbon here because I like the label. I mean, I liked the bourbon. Yeah, I kept the bottle because I like the label. But then I have you can't see it's way over there, but I have a big Woodford Reserve bottle that I've turned into a lamp.
Okay.
But that's a good. I found I like the brown nectar of the gods. So the coffees, the bourbons, the Dr. Peppers of the world. That's where I go.
Oh, there's nothing better than, man, we are best friends, dude. I love Dr. Pepper, but I rarely drink it because I found with sugar, I'm pretty addicted.
Right. So every once in a while, at least 2 or 3 times a week, I got to crack something open.
Yeah. Like if I go out though and they have Dr. Pepper, which most places do, because Dr. Pepper's independent of Pepsi or Coke. So
yeah, it can distribute by both. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be like, it's so good. It's the best tasting in my opinion.
Yeah. My wife. So I'm actually working on the theory that we're related by marriage because my wife was a Cooper and and I imagine if we go far enough in the family tree somewhere, you're related directly to her, which means we're related by marriage.
I mean, so I think my cousin now lives in West Virginia, or I'm sorry, he's from West Virginia.
Wow, you're more West Virginia than I am, sir.
Right,
you're on the Arkansas line.
Wow, see how offended people get when you say West Virginia? They're like, "Whoa, wait a second."
Yeah, I've been there,
Not me. Not me. What I meant was, I think my cousin is in Atlanta now, and he's from West Virginia. Is any of your wife's family from West Virginia?
I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and help.
How long have you been married to her?
26 years.
Yeah, you don't know what?
Well, so the thing is, her family is big and scattered, and she's always got like some aunt in California and some aunt, and I hear names, and at no point can I get her to sit down and like, let's have a serious talk about family trees, because they just didn't do that. They just told stories. For the longest time, she 100% believed that she was like 1/32nd Cherokee, because like her grandmother was supposed to be like 1/8 or something. Now I don't know if these stupid tests work or not, but she did 23andMe and she came out like 100% white, like zero Native American, zero anything else, and she was so mad. But so I don't really know the truth of it all because she was always told her grandmother had enough Native American, and I'm pretty sure it was Cherokee, in her that she could have claimed whatever benefits. But
Yeah.
as it goes down to her mom and then to her, it what dilutes
Also,
to the point.
let's be honest. No one sits down with their wife and says, "Let's have a serious conversation about family tree."
Yeah.
That
Wait,
is
you haven't talked to Rachel about that? How long have you been married? What the hell, man?
21 years, and that is not a conversation. But usually, like, you just learn about family through like other conversations. But yeah, come to think of it, I
Yeah.
think most of my wife's family is just from Ohio. I don't think they're from, unlike your wife's family where they're scattered and everything. I think, everyone's from the same area.
I know that her grandfather served in World War II. He was in the trenches, the foxholes. Yeah, the trenches, foxholes of France.
Okay.
And because that was such a traumatic story, because when he came back, because they starved in the trenches, right? And so when he came back, he never threw anything out, to the point. And I thought, okay, again, you're exaggerating. And now witness it at a Christmas, dinner or whatever. He pulls out a Jello, scrapes the mold off of it, and eats the Jello because he would not throw out anything. So that's about as far back as I got. Is Roy Cooper served in World War II and then ended up bringing Delta to Atlanta and being a big deal in Atlanta. So,
Man, we might be
There's that.
related
yeah.
because if there isn't anything I like more, it's moldy Jello. So good.
And that's why your kids have Downs.
Yeah, well, it's autism. Get it right.
Okay, let's talk about let's go a little on a caffeine infused mind trip here.
Can't wait.
I think the norm is you're on the spectrum somewhere. ADHD, ADD, anxiety, I don't know about all the stuffs, right? And because there's people, rarely everybody I meet has something. They love to call it neurospicy, right? They have something going on. And like, yeah, I think about 5 things at once almost all the time. You ever watch the Wonder Years, the original Wonder Years?
Oh,
Where he's
yeah.
narrating. I got narrator half the time in my head, those kind of, and then you talk to somebody, it's like, I don't have that. I don't think that. And it's very rare I meet somebody like everybody else is like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Plus, I stopped talking to that person real quick because I'm like, that's not fair.
Yeah. So I'm thinking somehow people, because everybody wants to hide what they think is different. So everybody's like asking for a friend, hey, do you ever hear yourself talk to yourself? Just asking for a friend. No, that'd be crazy, right? And then they never went, yeah, I do. So yeah, I think the spectrum is the people who don't have the neurospicy anything.
I thought of this the other day, and actually I was trying to articulate it to Rachel before we did our podcast, Relatively Terrible. And as we were sitting there talking, it popped in my head. Life has no template.
Yeah.
And the people that try to put life in a template, I don't really like hanging out with because they're looking at this template they're trying to fill. And if anything goes outside of it, they want to hide it. They want to like falsify information because they don't want to be different. They want to be following this template. And that comes to like, I'm born, I go to school, I go to college, I get a job, I die.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that. That's not how it has to be. And that's totally okay.
I fully agree. I came up shortly after because I was born in 1977. So I came up shortly after the dirty hippie era. So there were still jokes in the 1980s about dirty hippies or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't live the life. I didn't experience it. I've just seen documentaries and videos, but it seemed like it was just people taking a different path. And why do something that is so my grandfather served for 20 years in the Navy. and he loved it.
Yeah.
My dad did like, I think 2 tours at most. Like he ended up in Vietnam, so he was out as fast as he could be. But he did not like it. But he found a path that worked for him, and my grandfather was cool with that. He supported it. To the point my dad supported that with me. To this day, he doesn't really know what I do for a living, even though I've tried to show him and explain it to him. But all he knows is I get to talk to people, and sometimes I'm working on an ambulance. So, hey, that's good enough, because the support is what matters.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the same with me right at the start of my career. Well, when I wanted to go to school, I had no one to help me sign up for financial aid. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just wanted to go to a community college. And I went to my grandparents and I told them what I wanted to do, which was graphic design. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna throw you a couple bucks because we don't know what that is, and we don't think that's real. Because my grandpa worked on a train. He was a train engineer and worked on trains and stuff. And by the way, pour over does not cause sneezing. That's just Charles.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't understand. And with this influencer thing, speaking of people not understanding, no one understands. Like,
right.
It's, you're sitting at home just chilling, not doing a dang thing, just collecting millions of dollars. And I'm like,
oh,
no.
I'm about to say a trigger phrase, but have you gotten, it must be nice?
I have gotten that one. The thing that's worse for me, and this has happened 3 separate times, and this is a little more elaborate, is where I'll just tell you one story. One guy, he was in a Bible study with me, and I would talk about this stuff all the time because when it was first starting to happen, I was like, really proud, but also like obsessed with growing on social media. So he finally understood what was going on, and he was like, "Wait, you have this many followers?" So the next day, he started a TikTok account and started trying to gain an audience, and he couldn't gain an audience. And then he was pissed because he's like, well, you can do it. Why am I not getting these views? And I was like, dude, screw you. I was like, wow. And
wow.
That's happened like 3 separate times. I guess I guess people just must think I'm an asshole, and they're like, if he can do it. And I'm like,
well, I mean, we are friends for a reason. We're both. There's my theme song is by Ronnie Radke of Falling Reverse. Yeah. I am aware that I am an asshole. And yeah, I'm just like you is the name of the song. I
don't understand what, like, people are so jealous sometimes. It's just sickening. I don't understand it. With everything we do, I work super hard. The boys work super hard, and there's no reason to come at me like that. So
I'm trying to still, for those watching the video, I'm still trying to get the heater back online, which I did. Apparently I killed the power strip. So kids, don't plug in a heater. And your little switch that would change the plugged in internet to all your computers. Don't plug all that in on a power strip and then plug in a water pot and try to turn it on, because it trips the breaker and it kills the power strip and it leaves you cold. But that's okay.
But you got your warm coffee, so you should be golden right now.
Going up, and I'm golden.
Oh, that was my fault. That was my fault.
But that's one of the best movies of 2025, man. What? You didn't like K-pop Demon Hunter? No,
I did watch it.
Like K-pop.
What was good about it? Give me like one good thing about it. That's what I thought. Nothing comes to mind. Nothing. Blank.
Okay.
I will say,
feminine heroism, where they don't need anybody to save the day on them. Great animation.
Okay.
Honestly, I felt like really good writing. And I thought the music was solid. And while Golden gets overplayed, Soda Pop could go away. That gets way overplayed. I thought, now, yes, it got to the tropes of demons versus whatever, and the guys and the girls and all that. But I thought the Romeo and Juliet version of the story where they were singing, I can't remember the name of the song, but they were singing the duet together. That's my favorite song out of the whole movie about.
I mean, it wasn't like
it's a musical anime.
The animation was incredible. I will give you that. And feminine heroism, like there could be more of that if people actually wrote it properly. I thought this was pretty good. Like I think people I think people like to think that, you know, it's just because it's like still a male driven world. It's like, no, writers can't do it because they're scared to. They're scared to actually make a female hero. And Golden was the best song on it. I will say that. It was the other songs I think were okay. I think Golden for me was the most catchy. I like the fact, spoiler alert coming up, I like the fact that she was like part demon. I thought that was a cool twist. I thought that was a cool twist.
It's a coming of age story.
As far as an animated movie, decent. I'm not animated movies. It takes a lot for me to like them. It takes a lot. Like I really like Zootopia. Like I like number 2. I thought that was good as well. But the first Zootopia, the story and everything, that was like really, really interesting. Like really good writing. When the boys were growing up, I liked animation a lot more, obviously, because I was watching it most of the time because I couldn't stand like like Barney and Miss Rachel and the Wiggles.
Sure.
So it was like,
come on, the Wiggles were great. When your kids are toddlers, the Wiggles are great.
No, what we did was we would turn on Teen Disney or Teen Nick, and we would watch those shows because it was like there was nothing offensive, but it was like a little bit more of a story like an adult may be able to get into a little bit. And I think they're more mature now, quicker because of that. Like iCarly was one of the main ones that we loved.
Oh,
like
Lord.
So much so that one Easter, my wife got me a iCarly Easter basket.
You're such a Gibby. Oh my God.
Oh, I love Gibby. Gibby.
Of course. I can tell.
But
like
sadly, I can never ever watch that show again now after Jeanette McCurdy's book. Never. Ever.
I watched the Nickelodeon documentary. It was rough, man. It was rough.
But her book, don't ever do it. Like the relationship with her and her mom and everything that happened, just don't.
Yeah.
Like, because it's one thing for it to be an outside source of this horror, but it's another for it to be your own mom. Like,
yeah, I haven't read the book. I get where you're going there.
Yeah, we listened to it actually in the car, Rachel and I, and I was like, that was a mistake. Because I was like,
y'all were you're heading to a romantic anniversary weekend and you killed the whole mood.
No, it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't that, because it would have been like, I don't think we should look at each other now. Like, this is really strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved all those Teen Nick, more like Disney stuff. I never really got into much Disney stuff though.
Disney had a formula, and that was all adults are stupid, and it's hilarious if you have kids or people screaming at least 5 times in an episode. And an episode's 20 minutes long because they'll smack their commercials on the beginning and end of it on their channel.
Oh yeah.
And it's like new button is a word that we used to use because it came from my niece when she was little. She just kept hitting the same button on some kind of little kid piano, and so everybody started telling her new button to get her to do something different. And that just became a phrase whenever we got irritated with what was going on. And we had to ban our kids at different ages, at different times of life, from watching real people TV. Like if it has a real human in it, you can't, because it was just that over and over again. Just adults are dumb and screaming. And the only one I love it to this day, I'll defend it all day long, it's called LazyTown. It was out of like Sweden or wherever. Yeah. That was fantastic because even the bad guy was the best.
Yeah, the look of the bad guy and the good guy, that like plastic.
Yeah, Spartacus and Robbie Robert. Yeah, a little bit plasticky, a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool. No, I like that one. I'm with
and
you.
The fact that the main character Spartacus was a real national Olympian for his country, whichever. I always get the country wrong of whatever is made out of. But yeah, he was their gold medalist gymnast, and
Okay.
then had a great personality. So they put him on this kid's TV show, and it was fantastic.
What about did you ever watch Fresh Beat Band?
That one I don't know.
Okay. We actually went to that concert too while we lived in Austin because Jackson liked the Fresh Beat Band. It was kind of like the Monkees, or what was that other show with the family, the Partridge Family?
Okay.
But kind of like a teen band that would like write these ridiculously bubblegum sugary songs like to talk about a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it was like we went to the concert, and the concert was obviously not the people that were actually on the show. It was like,
sure.
What the heck? Luckily, I don't think Jackson remembers that it wasn't actually that.
See, that's why I love stuff like Sesame Street. Even as an adult, I've taken my kids to go see Sesame Street live, and it's the same characters because they're all, well, in this case, they're all costumes versus puppets. But yeah, it's all pre-recorded, so it's the magic's just built in.
Yeah,
and it was fantastic. But
I would love to do something in the kids like world, like, because I feel like there's nothing out there anymore that's actually good, like looking from the outside in, but kids stuff is the most cutthroat in the world, and it's also the hardest to like get anything by a parent, because what they're doing with that content, even more than like normal content, is they want to throw that up on the screen and like just let a kid sit there and they want to walk away. So that's why Baby Shark is a thing. And like, because there's nothing objectionable like that any parent would ever like, it's Baby Shark. Maybe some parents would be like, Shark's too scary for my kid, I don't know, like stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, sometimes, well, it wasn't the shark in the Shark's Tale, was it? I was going to say sometimes the shark grows up and slaps Chris Rock in the mouth, but it was the fish in that movie, so that didn't work out. But that's a show. That's a show that I'd love to see created. Maybe after the movie project you're working on, and the other show you got in mind, and the other show you got in mind, we can work on that one where it's. You ever see the Wild Kratts?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love how it starts off real life and then goes into animation. You can do so much crazy cool stuff in animation, like for the kids. You can, but this talk shows and influencing and Minecraft streaming and those to show kids in a positive manner the realities of it, teach them actual things of headphones and audio mixing and this, but in a way that they get with some comedy to it. Even adults can sit back and go, oh, that was funny. And that Pixar DreamWorks kind of way where the jokes are really in there some for the adults, but even if the kid gets it, it's not like, oh my God, we had to have a conversation now.
Yeah, Pixar's so good at that. They're so good at those jokes that they leave a little breadcrumb trail for adults even while you're watching a kids movie. I think it's great. That would be cool.
My first date with my now wife, we went to see 3 to Tango, and which was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to a coffee shop because I was all about let's talk and get to know each other and enjoy some coffee. And in the town we live in now, she was living then, and they had zero coffee. I mean, not even a Starbucks. No, it was a coffee desert. It was.
What year was this? 1965.
Just because you use
just for
Grey
men,
Poupon for men. Yeah, that's it. Just Poupon for men.
Grey Poupon for my face.
Yeah. Now I have to remember, what year was it? No, we got married in 2001. So yeah, 2000, year 2000.
Okay.
The year 2000. No, it was a barely an outskirts of Atlanta at the time. And so the only thing to do was to go to the movie. And like, all right, we'll go do that. They previewed. It was either it's Toy Story 2 is where they got the horse for the first time, right? Because Jesse and the horse came in, I think, in Toy Story 2.
Yes, I think so.
So and I remember this forever because it embarrassed my wife a little bit. but it's the preview where they're trying to do the cones and they're sneaking around and something happens. I don't remember. But then the next shot is something happens. The horse's saddle falls off and he covers himself like he's naked.
Yeah.
And I just have that big laugh. I always have. I just laugh and laugh. And she's like, I can see her on the corner of my eye going, what? And that was it. She didn't know what to do. And she just started laughing and everyone else started laughing. So yeah, Pixar.
So that embarrassed her a little bit?
Yeah, she just didn't know. Yeah, well, okay. My wife now is not the wife then. She was very much, you do everything in the house, you go crazy in the house, outside, it was the way she was raised, right? You just went, and here I am like, here's a preview, and I think it's hilarious. And then in 3 to Tango, there's this, it's not a great movie. It's fine. But there's this scene where he has passed away now. Chandler on Friends.
Okay.
That actor, he's in this movie. He's the main star in this movie. And he throws his hat. I'm pretty sure this is an off the cuff line because of the way he reacted. He throws his hat to the hat rack. And I think it was supposed to miss or whatever, but it lands. And his face is like, what? And he goes, I'm Batman. And I lost it. Because I have a Batman tattoo. I was running around always telling people I'm Batman just to mess with them. And and after that, she's like, well, all right, I'm either in or I'm out, but it's a ride. So, and now 26 years 25 years we've been married. 26 is dating because math.
Dude, that's another thing that we have in common. Like 20 plus year marriages, you just don't hear about anymore. Like it's starting to go out of style. Especially
when you're famous like us. We could have anybody. You know, it's they better get in line. That's all I'm saying. You know, respect is all. Respect, right?
Yeah, totally.
bring that up on your podcast the next time you record. To just look her dead in the eye like, boys, did you know that because we're famous, we could have anybody, and your mom's lucky that all 3 of us stay around?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over real well.
But I brought up that concept. I make notes every once in a while, and I wanted to talk. I don't even read my note. Coffee deserts. You know, we've heard of food deserts, and if you don't understand, if it's the first time you're hearing it, it's where it's hard to get things, right?
Yeah,
as in a real desert. And I didn't think about it till I really was talking with you, because like, oh, I got a little Starbucks over here, and I found a nicer place down towards Macon, which is 45 minutes an hour from me, and but they had French press on the menu, right? So I thought. And they sold pour over kits and stuff. So I could see, okay, I'm not sure what a pour over is, but they roasted it in house, they grind it in house. Okay, that's a little bit better than Starbucks. Didn't realize. So you're talking about, and you're sending me photos of some of the coffee houses you go to, and then you're like, yeah, you know, I don't buy a thing. I look at the dates. Like, what do you mean look at the dates? Starbucks bags don't have roasted on dates. What are you talking about? Look at the dates.
Nope.
And then so as I'm going, for this show, I'd love to go now. Not now. It's cold. It's actually literally freezing outside right now. But I would love to go sit at a cafe and remotely record. And at some point, we've talked about actually coming together and doing that. And I went, there's nowhere here in town to do that. It's not basically a chain. We have Ziggy's and we have Starbucks, and that's basically it. Or I think there's a mom and pop place. It's one of those we talked about that. Yep. People like it because they like you or something. Let's talk about that. So we can't do anything about the coffee desert, but I would love to open that. See, I always think way too big. So as Little Brown Pill becomes the bestest, coffeeiest podcast in the world, we're going to open up our own coffee shops that are pharmaceuticals. Yeah, we're going to sell it in big mugs that look like pill bottles, and you go get it.
I'm for that. That sounds good,
right? Because it's like, I wasn't, again, why I played the clip. You woke me up. I was unaware of what I was missing, you know, and then you see that reaction in people. You pay $6. Well, the pour over, you paid $8 for a little cup of coffee. No, I can make a little cup of coffee at home with instant coffee. I paid $8 for really good coffee and to learn something to then do it myself.
And then for me, it's, you know, I'm very frugal, but I do like some extravagant stuff. I'm not going to do that every day. I'm not going to go unless I have pour over at my house. I'm not going to go to a shop every day
Right.
and pay $8 a day. And I think that's what people think. And it's just not true. But, you know, Memphis is kind of a coffee desert in a way. Like we have 2 shops now that are worth going to. And the one I won't go to because it's actually overpriced. The other one I love, it's called Coffee Black. I talked about it last time we recorded. And that's a place, if you came here, we would go and I would talk to Bart, the owner, and I know he would let us record there. And actually, the cool thing about them too is they've got their giant roasting machine because they do their own roasts right in the area where you drink your coffee. Like it's like this big machine, and everything I've got from there, like the boys and I went there the other day. It's incredible. It's top notch because these guys are all about the craft of making coffee, and it's really really good. That would be a perfect place to record.
Man, that reminds me of old school Sesame Street, where they do little field trip videos with real kids who learned here's how a theater is worked. Man, do you think they would let us actually work through the roasting process with them and film some of that? And that'd be fun.
We would need a little more lead time, but I would have
to really schedule that out. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If he told me, he would be like, "Yeah, I'd take you through it, but here's when we roast. Just come that day."
Yeah.
I would love that. It's in a really cool area. It's a weird area too because you're driving there and you're like, I'm in a neighborhood right now. There's not, and then all of a sudden here's this retail coffee shop, and it's really cool. And it's got a nice vibe in there. Every time you walk in, they're like, "Welcome back, fam." And I love that. That's just super cool. And it's a Black owned business, and that's part of it. Cause I'm just gonna be honest here. If you want to cut this out, you can. I think I might have said this before. Black people are nicer than white people. And that's part of when every time I was going to pick up my kids at school, like when they went to in-person school, I would walk past like 5 white people. They'd do this. Turn their heads down. Like Black people, "Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you." Like they don't even know you. It's awesome. I love it. And that's the vibe when you walk into that coffee shop is they're like, "Welcome back, fam." And I'm like, I'm coming back for that. I like that. I like, they notice you. You're here. I haven't even spent any money yet. And you're already like making me feel welcome. I love it. And I think that would be a perfect place for us to go. You got to try this drink they have called the D'Angelo. It's like I think it's their signature drink. You can get it hot or cold. Delicious. I mean, it's sweet too, but it's not too sweet, which is why I like it.
That reminds me of a video I saved. I don't know. I don't need that playing right now. Let's see if I can pull it on my computer on TikTok. I saved it to like the bookmarks, but I'm not sure how to access that on the computer. And I'll summarize it since I didn't didn't do this correctly. I think you can only say bookmarks on your phone. Anyway, it was this young lady who's like, I walked into this shop the other day and man, it really, really smelled of coffee. And I went in, but I was like, oh no. Oh, Pete's. She went to Pete's. And that's Peets for those of you who are unfamiliar. She went to Pete's. And
is this a video you sent me?
Did I send you the video where she she's like, it didn't have any caramel, rosemary, chai, anything. It just had drip coffee, and we got espresso. I don't need my coffee tasting like coffee. This is dessert. I need it with loves of sugar and caramel and apple. If I wanted coffee, I wouldn't drink coffee. I'm like, it was such a great point, and I didn't even think about it. There's definitely people who, I blame the pumpkin spice latte crowd. It's like they want that flavor and that warmth and that profile that you can't do that in hot chocolate, and you can't really do that in tea. I mean, there's tea that has flavorings and stuff, but the way you can do coffees with all this stuff, my youngest daughter is like that. She doesn't really care for coffee.
That's why people love Starbucks so much, because that was a joke I made at Coffee Black, and I made it. The one guy that works there, I know him. So when I brought my mug back, I set it down. I looked him in the eye and I said, well, it's no Starbucks. And he started laughing. And the girl sitting at the counter, she was like, she didn't know I was joking. She didn't know me. And she was like, well, actually that's a compliment. And I was like, no, I'm just joking around. But he was like, dude, that was so good. I was just like, but Starbucks, I explained to her and she was like listening. She was like, I'm like, Starbucks, their coffee is burnt. So that's why when you go in Starbucks, the smell of Starbucks is so signature. It's burnt. It's a burnt coffee smell. It smells good. And you smell like that when you leave.
Yeah.
But that's why their sweet drinks are so good, because the sweetness takes away the burnt coffee flavor, but it's so intense of a coffee flavor. You still have a little bit of it in there. But that's why if I go to Starbucks, I'm getting a caramel macchiato because I don't want their coffee flavor. It's if I can't get drip coffee from there, it's burnt. I don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
It's not good. So like, I don't know if you know this. I may have said this before. When you look at a bean, so if you go to like Whole Foods and you look at the beans, or you go to Kroger, you look at the beans that you can actually put in a bag yourself. If the bean is it'll say light roast, right?
Yeah.
But the bean is all black. That's not light roast.
It's not like a tan or a brown. Yeah.
No. Well, that line in between the bean, it should be white.
Okay.
No matter what, you should be able to see that line. If the whole thing is glossed over and it looks glossy and it's black, the flavor's probably gone at that point. Now there's another thing to add to your like when you're searching out there. Look at those beans, man.
Man. Was it you talked about Counterculture?
Yeah.
Now, is that a shop you go to, or is that one you get off the shelf that you liked?
It's one that you can get off the shelf here because they're based in North Carolina. So
I just saw it on my shelves and I couldn't remember if it was like a store you went to and it's like brewed, or if it was a shelf. But yeah, I got you. Yeah. But you said that was pretty decent off the shelf.
Oh yeah. And you can look at the roasting dates, and since you're near Atlanta or somewhere around there,
yeah,
I'm sure that you're going to get decent roast dates around there
because it's not that far from North Carolina.
Exactly.
But talking about killing the flavor a little bit. So when I've learned I like the blonde roast from Starbucks. It just has a smoother profile. I don't want my morning coffee. I want my morning coffee to taste good right now because of you, damn it. But
You're welcome.
So that one gets closest, right? It's a good profile. I know how consistent how to make it, but when I do my Keurig, it'll only do 8, 10, or 12 ounces. So I have it. Actually, I think it's 6, 8, 10 ounces because this is a 24-ounce mug and it doesn't fill it all the way up. And my travel mugs are 24 ounces and it fills it most of the way up. It's 20 ounces. I will do the 10 and then I won't change anything out. I'll leave the same grounds because it's a tablespoon of grounds packed in this little tiny space in a filter. And I'll just run it again. And while it's slightly weaker, it still has a pretty good flavor to it. And it gives me the volume I want. I don't know if anybody's watching, if you're watching the video, if you notice, I picked up the kettle from the floor. It came back to the same pour over and just used the rest of the water. Does not have the same effect at all. You don't reuse the pour over grounds because it actually weakened it. It weakened the flavor when I did that.
Yeah,
so
because
it's
when
still
you're doing
good, but it's not as good.
Because when you're doing that first initial bloom and you're doing the water, like it's taking all the flavor, the actual flavor out of those grounds. Really, and so once you just add more water, it's not going to work. We're gonna get you off of Keurig one day, but
yeah.
Well,
you have a picture of my coffee station. At some point, I want it to be more like your coffee station with the grind, fresh grind pot measure, all that jazz.
So those are really good, but like I'm to the point where I'm gonna get a new one because it just, now that I've been getting more pour overs again out and really getting back into it even more, I'm like, man, this thing just doesn't do it justice at all. And I'm really getting like not only jealous, but I'm like, my morning coffee is starting to become blah, and I need to get it back to that level that, is like, okay, this is worth it and things like that.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, there's still worse things, and that is like instant coffee, which that thing I brought, I did toss that jar.
You didn't make the boys try it?
Hell no.
That's where we differentiate his dad. I would absolutely torture my kids with that.
I was going to, but I started to grow an extra finger out of my thigh. It was weird.
All the chemicals.
I mean, it's useful down there, but it's not great.
Oh man.
Dude, there's nothing on the back of that. There was nothing on the back of that that's regulated at all. And you said it, because like if anything's approved by the FDA, it has to have nutritional facts.
Yeah.
This did not tell you even how many servings are in this jar, and it smelled like piss, and it's still on the shelf.
Well, you know what? This is how they used to market it. This one you brought to the table.
Oh Lord,
this
God.
commercial. So let's see. This is a Maxwell House commercial.
The first beautiful weekend after we got married, I took my new bride sailing. Wife, I said, marriage is a democracy, but a sailboat isn't. Here, the captain gives orders to the crew.
Don't even
Me,
show the
captain,
husband.
You crew. First order.
Me, captain,
Maxwell
you crew.
House
And then she
coffee.
just dives.
See,
Oh
blue
my
can, good to the last drop.
Wow.
Maxwell House. Smell it. That's the way coffee should smell.
Wait.
Now,
Just
taste
wait,
it.
it's gonna get worse.
So he makes it for her to show her this is what you do for me. Is that
Yeah.
that's what we're saying? Okay.
I also think the part where she just dives under, like you know,
goes
she's
below
going.
deck. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Goes below deck.
Mhm.
I mean, it was like, what the hell? But it gets worse.
Okay. All right.
Maxwell House. Never bitter, never stale, always good to the last drop. So on this ship, it's Maxwell House and nothing else. Or somebody walks the plank. And if you
come
would be
on.
a good little Maxwell House wife and serve it at home, too, I'd be so grateful. Maxwell House Coffee from General Foods.
You can stop it there. I'm not sure what the rest is. I didn't watch the rest. There must be another
good
commercial on there.
little Maxwell wife. Oh my God.
But the angle, dude, the angle of the camera and just her face and his hands, I thought this was a corn video almost. You know, like it's gonna go into like something.
Right.
I was like, what the hell is this?
I gotta see what's about beyond a little bit.
Oh no, I didn't watch the rest of this, so I can't.
I'm on the stop button.
Oh no! Oh no! Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay.
She was
Happy
beautiful.
bride.
She was intelligent. She was my own true love. But she couldn't make a decent cup of coffee. So on our honeymoon in Maine, I taught her. Wife, I said, this is Maxwell House. There's one thing I'm a bug about, and that is good coffee. So, Maxwell House. Comes in a blue can. Says, good to the last drop. Don't use anything else. Do use enough. And you will always brew me coffee worth waking up for.
Oh my
Smell
God!
it. Now taste it. See? Maxwell House. Always.
There was no
good to
coffee
the
in that
last
cup.
drop. So remember, be a good little Maxwell housewife.
Oh
and
my!
this honeymoon could last forever.
They thought they were on something. They thought Maxwell housewife. They're like, this will be the trick. Be a good little Maxwell housewife.
Dude,
my God,
why do they never show the husband? And then did you notice how they had her sitting like a kid, like listening
Yeah.
to him, like, oh my God, and then they never show him.
Yeah.
It's so
Not
so
once.
creepy.
It's just the hands. Yeah.
So creepy.
And we're on our honeymoon and she couldn't make a good cup of coffee. I'm not worried about my wife making a good cup of coffee on our honeymoon.
It's
sir.
almost like too, he's giving a list of why he married her, and here's why I almost didn't, and it was coffee.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, dude. But when I watched that video the first time, I didn't even know there was any more because I stopped it and texted you right away because I'm like, this is perfection for our show because that was so insanely creepy of her grabbing it. She's like, first he puts his finger in her face and like he's like grabbing her chin and all this stuff, and you're like, what is about to happen here? Good to the last drop. I mean, there's just so many
Yeah.
euphemisms.
but But I totally understand now why you didn't like K-pop Demon Hunter, because you don't like strong females. This instantly came up in your search feed.
So these
we're
are
learning
strong.
something about you, Josh. We're learning something about you.
I guess I'm learning now that these are strong females.
No, these are the sexist ads that you found instantly because your algorithm.
Who brought this up first though? That was you. You just text me. You're like, find another creepy commercial or another like sus commercial. I'm like, so on it. I can do this.
It's unfortunately it is way too easy, isn't it? It's way too easy.
I was more worried about my algorithm now on YouTube. Like what am I gonna be getting? They're like Homeland Security's been to my house now. It's what are you looking for?
We're gonna start getting some weird got milk commercials.
Thankfully we don't do a milk podcast. I'm sure those are even easier to find.
Oh my god. Well, there on that note, I don't know if we can top that commercial. So we're gonna get out. I know you're working on it. We're still in kind of beta with this show, and probably by the time we release the show, hopefully your podcast will be out. But what do you think you're going to be producing in public? You're releasing your podcast.
Oh, it's out.
You didn't let me know it's out so I can subscribe.
Mm-mm.
Did you tell anybody it was out?
I need it. Oh yeah,
I saw a clip or two on TikTok, but it didn't say. I didn't notice it said out now.
So the thing that sucks about TikTok is I can't even put a link on there until we have 1,000 followers, which is really stupid. But I just wanted it to happen organically. I'm not trying to go too hardcore on it. Plus, the first 2 episodes, in my opinion, as far as like just starting, are actually pretty decent. I mean, as far as quality and things like that, because I've been doing this for just stuff like this for a long time. But if you can get it on Spotify.
I'm looking at that right now. It's
relatively terrible.
Thank you. Fun. Check mark. Because I need another podcast because I've been doing enough road trips with the ambulance that I have actually run out. And I'm listening to one. I only listen to one true crime podcast, but they're like sometimes 3 hours long, and listen to other stuff that's hours long. And the other day is like just silence. Like, what happened? I've never run up podcast. So about time.
So yes, as a podcast professional, I'd love if you'd listen to the second episode, because I actually used some AI mastering on that, and it sounded really good in the car.
No, I mean there's some really good stuff out there for helping the home. Hey, we'll tag it. Helping the homebrew Maxwell housewife. But no, seriously. All right. Well, I am glad to hear it. I'm going to listen to it. We're gonna talk right after this about our release dates and everything else. But you beat it to the point. So now you got to build up to 12 million listeners on that show. So then we launch to like 8 million listeners.
Dude, listen, my goal for the first year is if we can get 1,000 listeners per episode, I would be stoked. I am now kind of in this mindset of, now that I'm trying to build something again, and it's not like Uploads of Fun is going away, but it's like Gary V when he talked about, like, if you had 1,000 people in a room paying attention to you, that's huge. And I don't think people get that anymore. And I want to kind of have that mindset, and I want to make sure as this grows, the community is built, I would say, a little more properly. I didn't know what I was doing the first time around. And now when we get these waves on Uploads of Fun of like last year, we grew 2 million, and we were stagnant for like 8 months at 10 million, and we grew 2 million in a year. So, and people would be like, some people would be like 2 million. I would kill for that. Some people would be like only 2 million. So
right.
It's all subjective.
Perspective.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for 1,000 an episode by the end of the year. I'm really proud of us so far with how it sounds and the banter, and just us being able to talk for an hour is super easy.
Nice.
And that's and just like us, like we could talk. I feel like we could talk all day long, and I feel like that's why this is working out, because that's what you have to have when you're doing a podcast. You have to have people that can talk, be articulate, go off the cuff, and just be able to like keep the conversation going for an hour, because people don't want silences anymore. Like, especially in a podcast, they're like, you got to talk the entire time. I don't want to hear any silences. That's why there's AI things that'll take out the silences. And it's like, whoa, okay. But yeah, I'd really value your opinion. I was probably, to be 100% honest with you, I was probably going to tell you at the third episode, because I think I figured out all the bugs that I wanted to, as far as just how it looks. It's more important now how it sounds, because I don't think most people are going to go in the episode and click the YouTube link, but we're getting some views on YouTube already, so that's good.
We'll get both. Yeah, it'll be two different audiences, but you absolutely will pull both. Yeah.
And right now the video is only one angle. So
and are you hosting it through Spotify?
I'm hosting it through Buzzsprout.
Okay. So I'm not sure if Buzzsprout will do it, but I know if you host it directly through Spotify, you can put up the video. So if people wanted, if they're on Spotify, they can watch the video. But honestly, you're going to do it on YouTube and everywhere else too. So you might as well just stick with what you got. I tried Spotify and I didn't like that it won't distribute to other places. Like, that's the one thing. It's just kind of, then you have to do like some manual distribution. Yeah, you have to get it set up. I think we talked about that. I think Buzzsprout was a good place to land. And I'll say to anybody out there who's done creativity before or creates in somewhere, and you've got an audience, the rule that I've made up, right, but I've discovered over 20 plus years of doing this. No matter how successful you are at uploads of fun, when you do your next thing and you tell your audience about it, you still start at zero. And your first couple episodes will be rough, but your roughness gets better and better. Like the first episode of Little Brown Pill, rough. But if you went back to my first podcast I ever did, the first episode of Little Brown Pill is super professional, So it's just every time you start something new, it's new. And I'm happy for you. I'm excited to listen. And Thanks, it's going to be fun.
Didn't you recently update your website and things like that?
I did. CharlesMcFall.com is fully updated, and I'm starting to do a monthly newsletter because I've resisted it for 20 years because all newsletters were about selling. I'm like, I got nothing to sell, until I met Bob Magoo, who I hope to introduce you to at some conference here soon, because he's a great guy. But he just, because he's a writer, so while he does podcasts, instead of doing a podcast about his business and his life and his writing, he just writes a newsletter. And I'm like, I love that. Sometimes he just shows Legos. Sometimes he shows his guests. Sometimes he shares a chapter of his book. And sometimes he just talks about, hey, this is the month in review, and this is what I did at these cons, and here's the note. And he shares the numbers, which I love, because for me, it's not about a little bit about the voyeurism of inside business. It's helping me understand, and I can translate from his world of writing to my world of podcasting of, I see how you're building this and that, and so on and so forth. So yeah, got a newsletter out there you can sign up for, and CharlesMcFall.com. And it's always a work in progress, man, because if you're not growing, you're not brewing good coffee.
So did you decide against the nudes for that newsletter, or are you going with nudes? Or like
no, that's going to be OnlyFans / Bigfoot. Okay. That would be somebody's probably got that one. Because that had a different meaning than what I meant there. So,
Charles, don't tease us. Don't tease us like that. It's not cool.
What's funny is I'm more like Littlefoot from Land Before Time. All right, that's enough of that shenanigans. I hear the barista's calling us for a coffee pickup. We got to go.
Peace.
Oh, no, that's a good podcast.